We thought we came prepared for whatever British weather would throw at us, but we weren't prepared for snow.
Hi there. We're Ramin and Anna. Together with our dogs, Kamu and Kulo, we traveled to Great Britain in our camper van Noor in the spring of 2023. This is how it went.
After our walk and my mountain bike ride in Thetford Forest in the previous episode, we made our way to near Cambridge to spend the night by a canal. That's where Anna did the final trim for Kamu in preparation for Crufts. And since he'd been swimming in seawater, rolling around in sand and various sheep pastures, he needed a wash as well. And since water is limited in a van, the nearby canal was the perfect place to get him wet. Of course, in preparation for the upcoming snowfall, the weather in England was really cold at this point of time, and Anna's hands didn't exactly appreciate having to rub soap and rinse a very cold, wet dog outside in the wind. And no, our dogs usually aren't on lead when we let them swim, but there were ducks and swans right on the other side of the canal, and Kamu is a hunting dog after all. We came to Cambridge to spend the night, first of all because there was a water source, and then because we wanted to go to the Imperial War Museum at Duxford to look at some old planes before heading to Birmingham. On the way to Birmingham, we already had our first warning signs that the weather might be turning in a way that we're not exactly hoping for. Of all the weather we'd come prepared for, we really didn't expect it to snow once we would be in England. But it appears that we brought the weather with us. It's funny how weather that we Finns would consider very normal for either autumn or spring caused such havoc in the traffic in England. Of course, it is understandable with difference in amount of snowfall that we get in the different countries, but still, we finally arrived at our campsite in the evening before Gundog Day. The ground was already white by the time we arrived at the campground. After finding our spot for the night, we took the boys out for a walk in the dog run behind the campsite. The next morning, we woke up to the ground being truly white. But we still didn't think there was any reason for us to worry or to hurry. So we ate a leisurely breakfast, got dressed, prepared ourselves, and started the estimated 20-minute drive to Neck. It ended up taking us well over an hour to get there. And all of our plans of actually vlogging and documenting the whole Crufts experience were thrown out of the window. What is there really to say about Crufts? It's unbelievably huge, with so many rings, so many dogs entered, so many vendor booths, so much of everything there. But it's overwhelming almost. We're also very grateful that, well, Crufts is officially a benched show, which means that there are the benches where the dogs should be. They do allow dogs to stay in the crates as well. Because honestly, if Kamu would have had to stay on a bench for the whole duration of waiting for his time to go into the ring, he would have been dead tired. He wouldn't know how to relax there, unlike the local dogs that we saw. There were 335 flatcoats entered into the show, and even the class that Kamu was entered into, dog open class, had 33 entries in it. And those dogs were pretty much the best of the best that there is, so it was just so great to see so many beautiful dogs in the ring. But at the same time, there were so many dogs there that it was hard to concentrate on a single dog. Kamu and Anna got their moment on the green carpet of Crufts, but they weren't shortlisted, and in the end, we didn't even end up spending a fortune at all of the vendor stalls that were around there. We did spend a great day with many old friends, both from England and abroad, including Finland, and Ulo's breeder from Sweden. After a very long day at the show, we finally got a chance to drive back to the campground in the evening for dinner and a chance to unwind. Honestly, this is pretty much the best thing about campsites or campgrounds. Toilets and showers. Our plan after Gun Dog Day at Crufts was to head back to London for the weekend. On the way from Birmingham to London, there's this little place called Bletchley Park, which for a computer scientist and a nerd like myself was just a must visit while passing by. Bletchley Park was where the British codebreakers worked during the Second World War and where they managed to break the Enigma and other Nazi codes. It is also the place where Alan Turing worked, who later on went to further theoretical computer science and has had a significant impact on artificial intelligence. Any computer science student has encountered the term Turing machine and the Turing test for artificial intelligence. The displays at Bletchley Park are made really well. They're not only for a computer scientist nerd like me, but they really make the world of code breaking approachable to anyone. And once we were done walking through the grounds of Bletchley Park, looking at all of the different displays there, it was time to continue our drive towards London, once again crossing the Dartford Crossing, this time from the north towards the south. In the next episode, we'll focus on our weekend in London and the next week that we spent around Windsor and headed back to the coast of the English Channel.